Hi everyone, welcome to Fish and Rice. I'm Toby.
I'm Andri.
And today we are glad to welcome Ilko. Thank you very much for coming on the show. Ilko, you're a photographer here, but I'm going to let you introduce yourself to our listeners.
Thanks for having me. My name is Ilko and I'm from Bulgaria. I've been living in Japan for 15 years.
That's quite a long time already.
Oh yeah. And I just came to study business and I happened to become a photographer in Japan.
So you came as a student back then and stayed until now?
I came as a student. Maybe I thought I would stay here for a couple of years. I would learn something about business and go back to Bulgaria and I would practice what I learned in Japan.
So what changed? Why? What made the change to, I'm just going to study, learn something, go back and I'm staying here?
Well, since I was living here, I started noticing maybe a lot of things. And I happened to have my first camera.
Okay.
And things started to become interesting in that direction for me. I thought I'm going to be the best photographer because I could blur the background with 50f1.8.
The bokeh.
Oh yeah, that was like, I was genius at that time. I was the best at that time, maybe. I don't know.
So the first camera in Japan and bokeh kind of paved the way for you to switch from becoming a business major to establishing yourself as a photographer.
Of course, it's not that easy to become a photographer in Japan after you come to study business because of visa stuff and all of that complicated things, of course. So things took a little bit
longer than you'd hoped.
But at that time, I thought only that if I take a picture with a nice bokeh that I'm a good photographer. But the more you shoot, you know that that's not the truth. Maybe it took maybe a few years since you understand that how much you don't know anything.
So what was this very first camera that you had?
Actually the reason I got a camera in Japan is because I live in such a beautiful place and I wanted to show my friends in Bulgaria what beautiful country it is. So that's why I got the 50D Canon.
Oh, classic Canon camera, very solid.
Yeah, it was nice, 50D.
And you got good use.
I got a really nice lens that can take all the photos you need, 18 to 200.
Wow. Really nice. You basically
covering the whole range.
Wide open angle to far away
That's
zoom.
what I thought for the first 1 month, and after that I noticed that's not the truth.
Yeah.
Then I got rid of that
get
lens.
limitations.
Then I got the 50 1.8 and I stayed with that lens for maybe 1 year.
Can you walk us through a little bit how basically you, from that first camera through your business studies, you've established yourself as a photographer?
Well, as I said, I came as a student. I was studying in Kobe University. I was studying business administration. I hated it.
Okay.
It was so boring. It was depressing me in a kind of, I don't know. It was really, every time before I go to class, I was like, damn it.
I don't want to go there. I don't want to spend an hour just listening to economics. And
really, it was like, I like when I speak, maybe I like to speak with the people, look in their eyes, and everybody in my class was just reading and don't meet their eyes. And I hate it. I don't know.
So
they were all so smart. Everybody was so smart that I just maybe couldn't get to their level. Then I started photography. I thought maybe I get a camera, I'm gonna have fun sometime, and I got the 50D. And little by little, first I was shooting like everyone, like landscapes, some street photos. And shooting street photos, I noticed that it might be interesting to shoot people. The first photos of people were like homeless guys, close to the place where I used to live.
Not that many in Japan, right? But quite a few. If you're in some areas, you may notice.
And they were like nice guys, and they were like taking care of a lot of homeless cats, street cats around there. Yeah,
they usually have a lot of like pets and.
Yeah, and when I go to school early in the morning, I say hello. Can I take some pictures of you? I take some pictures. I used to print the pictures actually sometimes and give it to them. They really like it.
And so from there you started getting an interest into photographing people, and you thought, oh, maybe I want to do portrait photography.
Maybe then I saw some video on the internet, like some guy from America, Zacharias. He was like using one strobe and shooting some crazy things. Ooh, that's what I want to do. That's why when I got up my first strobe, and because I thought that, well, what you see in the light and what you get in the picture is two different things.
Yes, it is.
Which got my interest. If I didn't get the strobe at that time, maybe I would quit photography.
So that really was a game changer for you. That was maybe the best purchase in photography you've done.
The best thing I ever noticed, maybe.
So I had a look a little bit at all your photos, and we will share your accounts in the comments down below. And you have a very unique style a little bit, but I wouldn't know how to describe it. Maybe you can do it better for our listeners. I don't know either. I'm just what sets you apart from other portrait photographers?
At that time when I started, I noticed that nobody in Japan was doing off-camera lighting.
Okay.
Like maybe there were some people there, but they were so little, and they maybe didn't show off that many things on the internet or anything.
So with lighting, it was more in a studio setting or natural light outside?
All the photographers that I had some contact with at that time, they were saying that outside you use reflector.
Oh, okay.
And you have the sun. Why do you use light? It's bright. Anyway.
Why do you use light?
Why do you use light? It's bright. And inside, you use lights. And outside is the reflector. That's all. I was like, okay.
So what is the reason for using lights outside? How does it make it better?
It makes it different. If you're just dependent on the sun or the light there, you're limited to the angles that you can shoot. But if
especially on a rainy day like today, quite overcast, no light.
If you have your light, then you can change the direction from everywhere you want. You can do whatever you want, anytime of the day, anytime, really, everywhere.
Is it difficult to carry the light with you to go around, to go to the location and have the light with you?
Yeah, it is getting heavy at sometimes. I usually have a carry case and then bring it. It's not that heavy, but it could be like 20 kilograms.
It's quite a big bunch of equipment.
But I could always go simple, very simple, like one light, couple of lenses, one camera, umbrella light stands, which is going to be less than 10 kilograms. But sometimes I want to shoot more stuff. So I get
be prepared for every situation.
3-4 lenses.
Usually, But usually, I have 3 or 4 lenses. But really, as I said, if you have the light with you, you're not dependent on anything. You can shoot everywhere.
And in any situation as well.
And another thing that I always used to keep in mind is I almost don't look at other photographers' work.
Okay, that's interesting.
I just don't. Maybe I do, but just forget it.
So you don't necessarily get inspiration from outside, you just want to develop your own craft.
Yes. I want to get inspiration, of course, but I don't want to like copy it almost the way that photographer shot it.
So how would you say then it improved your style from the beginning? Are you still doing the same type of portraits, or has your style changed?
It has changed, definitely. There are some... I have been grouping my photos from since I started like 10 years ago, like in my gallery.
You've brought quite a few here with you for us to see.
I can see how my light is changing in all these photos. Sometimes I see now from 10 years ago, oh, that's amazing. I wouldn't do that now, maybe.
Okay.
And there are things that I didn't know how to do at that time, but I can do it now.
That's really cool.
Changed, but
it's quite diverse too, right? Looking at the gallery you have in front of us here, different tones of colors, close-ups, more in context portraits in nature.
But what didn't change is that from here up to now, I'm using lighting everywhere almost. It's like 99% I'm using lighting, off-camera lighting. I never put a flash on the camera, I just wouldn't do that.
Besides the light, do you have any preferred gear or focal lengths for your portrait shoots?
I always say on my channel that like camera doesn't matter at all. It's the least important thing about you when doing photography. The lens is much better, much more important.
Yes.
You can change the camera in the same situation with another camera and shooting. It's gonna be similar, but if you change the lens,
it changed everything.
Changed a lot of things, all the angles. But even if you change the lens to a similar focal length, it's just going to be similar. But if you change the light, that's still more important. So that means that you can shoot really nice photos only if, for example, you have your iPhone. Even with your iPhone, you can take quite amazing pictures. And I want to show you some pictures just taken with my iPhone.
This is an iPhone
just
photo.
iPhone photo.
So just for those who can't see the images right now, but we will try to put them in the comments.
I will send you the pictures.
Very beautiful, like portraits in the sea. This is snow.
That's rain
on the beach.
Snow,
with light and iPhone.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you can do everything that all the light and conditions are the same. So you can do it with.
That's quite amazing.
Not a good camera as well. If you know how to use the light.
So
that
the
shows
light,
how camera is on really low level. Of course, if you have a camera with fast autofocus and everything, that's going to make it faster, of course.
So for you, the advice you give to your viewers, listeners, and people who ask you about photography advice is the most important is the light, then the lens, and then the camera body.
And even more important than the light is you.
Of course, how you look at the scene, right? What you see.
Would you notice that this really boring location, if you put the light here and here and here, it's gonna make it amazing location.
Yeah. Talking about locations, actually, do you have any? So you're based in Kobe here, right next to Osaka. Do you have any preferred locations in Kansai to go shoot for portraits?
I have a really favorite location here, Yodogawa.
Oh. Very nice. I live right next to it. Any
specific
area in Yodogawa that you'd recommend?
Around Juso and Minami, Kata.
What makes these locations special for you?
It's every season is different there. Like winter, how do you say it in English? Suzuki. The brown.
Yes, the kind of tree and marsh in the water coming out.
Make so beautiful colors. And it's white, like it's wild as well. Wild, like nobody goes there. Usually it's me and the model. Yeah, like locations this.
Very beautiful. Yeah, it's quite
amazing.
Have a sort of nature reserve along the Yodogawa River, which like goes from Osaka all the way to Kyoto.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of beautiful spots. I go running there on weekends and I often see photographers. They do bird photography and always with a very, very long focal length, trying to catch some maybe more unique birds.
And you can go like anytime. You don't need a permit. You don't need anything.
Yeah.
Just go and shoot. And sunsets there, so beautiful. Sunrise as well, amazing. I've been shooting here hundreds of times. Every time I notice something different.
Very nice.
Going back to history, like as you said, that you started doing photography with street photography, then some homeless people. Where was the break when you started getting paid for photography? What was your first paid gig? Do you remember that one?
I remember very well. I was probably I was still in university actually. I was in university and maybe I was thinking that I should get the hell good jobs right now, but I'm not. And anyway, I was learning and practicing a lot of things. And I got a message from a guy from Shinsaibashi. He was doing a hair salon for the gyaru.
Okay, so like a gyaru, the specific kind of cultural aspects.
Nights hairstyles. I think, And he asked me, can you shoot my catalog? I pay you 500 yen or something like that.
500 yen?
Yeah, it was very cheap.
Very cheap.
Maybe 2,000 yen or something like that. Very cheap. Okay, it was my first job. I was happy. It was my birthday actually.
Oh, very nice.
August 31. I'm gonna go and shoot. He was very happy. It's not that I didn't know what I was doing, but I practiced a lot before that, and I really got some nice photos. He was amazing. That's it. Amazing.
I mean, that must be quite a feeling, right? Something you dream about doing, and you get the first opportunity to be paid for it.
It was very quick actually, just 1 hour maybe. It was interesting that just maybe 4 years ago, same guy messaged me again.
Okay.
I got a second shop. Wanna shoot? Can I ask you to shoot my second shop? I pay you 2,000 yen.
But by then you were more established.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything about what I'm doing now and anything. He just had my number maybe, just messaged me.
He remembered that you did a good job for him
like
at that time.
10 years ago, can you do it again?
Yeah, for the same amount of money.
Yeah,
did you do it?
Of course.
Did you do it for the same amount of money?
Of course.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's very kind.
I had no reason not to do it. I was free that day. Okay.
And from there, little by little, you started getting more opportunities.
It was difficult.
Okay.
Especially when I was about to graduate university.
Because then you need the visa, you need to pay for rents.
And I don't have any money at that time. I was not very good at savings maybe. When I graduated university, I thought I cannot do photography like this. And yeah, it's just gonna be difficult. So maybe I would work in some company for a couple of years and get some money, and then maybe start doing photography more. Maybe shoot in the nights when I'm in the company. And I got my recruit suit, and I got some accepted in some company actually. I went to the final level of the interviews, and then I thought, okay, do
you really want to jump in there?
Because I felt that maybe if I get in that company, I think that I'm gonna be shooting at night or 3 days, but probably they're gonna get me working a lot.
No, I see.
It's not gonna happen that easy in Japan. I was like, okay, I quit.
So you went to the last stage of the interview process, but you didn't follow through.
I
kind of
just
stopped there.
Had to quit that. I think I would have to quit photography after I went into that company, because it would be quite hard.
So you must have been really passionate, right? To have this feeling of like, I can't just jump into a 9-to-5 office job. I need to take photos.
Yes, I thought and I was believing that what I was doing, this kind of lighting, is not very popular in Japan, and I'm gonna make it popular.
And you did.
Maybe I did. I don't know.
Arguably, you did, because nowadays
I believed in that. So I got some actually really bad portfolio reviews at that time from some famous Japanese photographer that I can see his name even now. I was like, no, that sucks. If you do that, you're not gonna get anything in Japan. You need to use reflectors outside. You don't need to put shadow on the women's face or anything. That's bad. You have to stop.
But you stuck with your vision.
Like he's not wrong. He's right for himself. And if I listen to what he had to tell me, maybe I would follow his path. I don't want to do that. I was like, okay.
But you chose your path, and you started a YouTube channel, which now has...
That was quite after that, actually.
Quite after.
And when I quit that job. I mean, I didn't start that job, and I really had no money. But I decided that I'm not gonna do any different job than photography. I could work in McDonald's as baito. Yeah, that could do it. I could get some money with that. But if I do that, I still sacrifice that time that I could shoot or learn, and I didn't want to do it. So I did my best to research what I can do on Facebook or other social networks, or make my business cards.
You're very
so
large,
people can notice it. Yes,
Japanese business cards.
I want you to see what I'm shooting.
Exactly. So
that got me a lot of jobs on the train.
You cannot put it on the small business card, right?
I just put it on my lap, and people on the train was like, "Oh, what is it? Can I have it? Yeah. Can you shoot my daughter wedding?" Okay.
Oh, that's how it started.
But still, maybe it took like 2 or 3 years until I could say that, okay, I'm stable now and I can live. Because I have the whole month, like not a single job, almost zero.
So like income came and went away, and some months better than others.
Some months better, some months zero. Like when it's zero, you should panic maybe.
What was your worst place that you have ever been to? Like you were not able to afford rent or like buy food?
I was really on the edge a lot of times. But
not affording rent?
Yeah. Never actually missed the deadline, but almost like on the edge. Oops, I should get something. But when I don't have like a lot of work, I have a lot of time. It's how you use that time. Are you gonna spend that time doing something meaningful, like get ready for some nice shoots or learn some new techniques, or not, or waste your time and just be panicking?
All about your mindset and kind of how to
positive.
take advantage.
It should be positive, yeah. So I learned a lot in this time when I didn't have a lot of job, and little by little I got the jobs. Maybe 2 or 3 years, as I said, got me already on the way and not thinking about money.
And once you were more established, what made you decide to start a YouTube channel? So
I noticed that nobody was doing that in Japan.
Okay.
Really, not a single proper photography YouTube channel in Japan. A lot of gear review channels.
A lot of them.
Such a nice gear. I don't care about it. Yeah. Nobody was talking about photography and
so now to give the listeners some context, you have a channel that you grew to like over 150,000 followers. And so from the few videos that I've watched, you kind of do a on-location photo shoot and kind of show a little bit what settings you're using, how you use the light, how you set it up, and you can see in real time how the model poses for the photo, how you're interacting with the model, and you do all this in Japanese. So
in Japanese, I used to do it in English before, but there are too many people doing it in English, so I thought I'd just concentrate in Japanese.
So you noticed nobody's doing this. You're like, I want to try to do this.
That's me. That's
how did you manage to grow it to 150,000? Did it happen gradually, or was it suddenly like a spike?
No, I never had any spikes actually. Maybe just a small spike, like for example when I was pissed at Canon and they don't make any nice stuff and all their gear is so outdated and Sony are making so good things. I made a video like, screw Canon. Okay. I changed the Sony.
So you made one video that kind of buzzed and like that gave you a little spike.
Not that big spike, but more than usually. It's just everything is very normal, but just a little bit more. So many people were like, no Japanese photographer would say that actually. Because they're nice maybe. And I don't care about what Canon will think about me or anything.
Yeah. I mean, so they don't usually have those maybe more heavy headlines. They will be more neutral. Canon releases a new camera. It's not that good. Sony released a better camera. Go check it out.
Something like that. And I'm just straight to the point. You suck. Quit.
And so from your content now, do you do different types of content? And if so, do you find that there's some types of videos that are more popular with your audience, that gets more reactions? And
I noticed that recently I haven't been doing videos about beginner stuff, beginner know-how that I've been doing like 4 or 5 years ago, like the whole settings, the shutter speed, presented in creative ways, the ISO in creative ways. I used to do that before a lot and I haven't been doing recently. And I should start doing it again because for these few years I noticed a lot of things.
Yeah, you learn as well yourself by doing, and you have a new approach.
Redo a lot of my old videos with some new concepts and new examples. So
the content ideas are endless in a way.
And at that time I didn't have access to a lot of new gear maybe. Now I do. So I do review some gear that I think it's interesting. I'm not a reviewer. I just do it the way I want.
Yeah, you just share your experience with it.
If I like it, if I have interest in that gear, I would do it. But if I don't, I don't.
Can you share maybe with us a little bit some of the challenges, but also the rewards you had from running this YouTube channel?
Well, if I remember my first videos, I don't even want to see them. Like I cannot speak. I spent 45 minutes for a 7-minute video.
That's a lot
because
of work.
I have a lot of jump cuts because I cannot speak like straight. Right now I speak 15 minutes, I use 15 minutes.
That's very efficient.
I don't even
edit.
I don't edit the videos quite often. I don't watch my video. I shoot the video.
And you post the video.
Don't even shoot it on the camera. I shoot it straight with OBS to my PC. So it straight goes to the timeline.
Oh, wow.
So I have the setup, everything. I speak the video, beginning to ending. I just go to the PC, cut the things that I don't speak in the beginning, cut the end, put some intro music, outro music, ready.
That's
and I don't watch it.
Really time efficient.
If I know that I spoke properly, I'm just not gonna watch it. Just upload immediately.
Do you redo videos sometimes?
No. Never that. If I like few years ago, if I made a mistake, yeah, maybe I would jump cut, and if it's very big mistake, I will watch the video and I will redo it maybe. But right now, for example, I'm shooting a video, 10 minutes, maybe I'm talking about something, and if I notice that the first minute I say something stupid, I'm not gonna jump cut. Just finish.
Just finish from the beginning.
I would just want one cut.
I see. So it's almost like live stream
It
video,
is,
kind of.
Yeah. But of course, there are videos that take a little bit more time. Like I need to put some pictures. I take this picture this way and this way. Put some settings. Like even when I show the video that I'm shooting and I put some pictures on the video. All the pictures on the video were taken with my iPhone, which is connected by HDMI to the camera, and records everything on my camera and records the audio as well.
Okay.
So the camera and the HDMI signal from the camera that I'm shooting, the video camera and it's synced immediately. One click, sync the audio, ready. And just put it on the upper left or upper right, that's ready.
So how do you plan those videos? How do you decide today I'm gonna do this? Or is it more like your focus is on your photography business and you use every photo shoot as an opportunity to showcase something?
Yeah, I use... I have sometimes then that I would go to shoot maybe 10 videos in one day.
Wow.
I decide the topic maybe and just shoot 10 videos and edit them little by little. But right now, usually it's just I'm on a photo shoot anyway. And if I notice that it's gonna be interesting photo shoot and do some interesting video, I set up the camera, put my microphone, and talk.
Do you feel like it's difficult to balance YouTube, where I'm sure maybe you're also getting people asking you to work for them, maybe, and to balance your actual business that you have maybe established as a photographer, or would you say they're just one single?
YouTube has always been like, by the way. If I have time, I do it. If I don't have time, I just don't.
So the focus remains on the photography.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Has this given you maybe the opportunity to work with other photographers? I know you mentioned that you don't necessarily look at their work, but have you...
I have a lot of good friends, photographers. And we work together. Sometimes even in my YouTube videos, I have like a team of 5, 6, 7 photographers. So we do it together.
Do you have any upcoming maybe collaborations or interesting?
I've never been doing collaborations on YouTube with actually other YouTubers. So really, I don't know. I never done it.
So the focus is like on your craft still, from the beginning.
It's not that I don't like it. I mean, I will do it anyway, but just I don't know. I know some other YouTuber friends, like when I see their lifestyle, it's like all about the YouTube. They wake up, they think about some project and what they do. I'm not about that. It's really by the way.
So when you were starting YouTube channel, you were not thinking about making it your main business or main money maker?
I thought it might be nice if I could get some small income from YouTube, but...
Is it a secret if I ask you, are you getting like big chunk of your income or like how much, like 30%?
How much time I spend on my YouTube channel. I've been having like some of my best months in YouTube. Maybe I got like 700,000 yen. Yeah, like $5,000-$7,000. If I really spend a lot of time doing it every day, it could go even more if I try. I know it could, because the more you try, the more it comes back. Yeah. But there are months that it's even below 100,000. It really depends how much time. But since I'm doing a lot of other things as well. I'm doing a lot of events, seminars, like fashion shoots or a lot of things.
So with all these like the photography that you're doing now, and your focus is still on using the strobes, but are there new things that you want to try or a new direction you'd like your photography to take, like moving forward?
Recently, I got interested in drones. It's so fun. I never thought I'm gonna do that.
It's a completely different angle.
It's
right?
completely.
You look at the world differently from up there.
Yeah, it gives inspiration, I think. It's so different. Have you ever tried?
No, I have never.
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
You're gonna spend a lot of money after that.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
Especially in a beautiful country like Japan, where in nature you can just see so many.
I was so negative about drones up to last year, and I was with a couple of friends in Miyakojima, and they had drone
near Hiroshima.
Miyakojima.
Ah, Miyakojima.
Okinawa.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Far south of Japan.
Yeah. And they had a drone, and they asked me, "I want to try." I'm like, I would say something that everybody who has no clue about drones say. No, we have 2 airports in Miyakojima. I guess you're not supposed to fly.
Oh yeah, very true. Very good point.
But it's not true. You could get the permit very easy. Oh yeah. So I got they asked me like, try, and I said, no, it's gonna be so troublesome after that. I tried and like, damn, that's so fun. 1 week after that, I got my first drone.
Very easy to convince for that.
It was so fun, really. What you see here is so amazing.
You mentioned before we kind of started recording that in Japan you do need kind of a license, and regulations are slightly changing a little bit. They're trying to separate big drones from small drones, but in theory, if you get approval from the local authorities, you're allowed to fly the drone in some areas.
Some areas, yeah. Probably not in Osaka.
Not in the cities, no, of course, yeah.
But there are a lot of countryside area where it's not that difficult.
So your path forward now with photography would be kind of exploring more the different opportunities with drones and different types of drones.
It happens to see a lot of things that you've never seen before. A lot of, like, even this photo.
Yes, so it's a beautiful photo. We can maybe put it on screen of a woman in a white dress laying on the beach. It's not really a beach, it looks quite rocky, but the waves come crashing in, and the kind of foam is mixing into the dress, and it looks like a very beautiful, very large wedding dress.
It's gonna take a lot of time to shoot this with a camera.
Yes. Maybe even you won't be able to get that angle top down.
You wouldn't know that the waves are coming this way. When you go with the drone, you see so much beautiful things that you
different perspective.
Yeah.
Would you say this is one of your favorite photos ever taken?
With a drone,
yes.
Maybe.
It's in the middle here, definitely.
Do you have a favorite, or is it even maybe not drone photo, but would you say it's impossible now that you've taken so many photos?
It's difficult.
Do you remember more specific photo shoots in specific locations?
I've had a lot of shoots that, for example, it's very, very cold, or very, like, everything so messed up. A lot of winds, and it's minus 20 and 20 meters winds.
Yeah, so that's very freezing, especially for the models.
When we get the photos, it's so beautiful.
Very unique, because nobody else is doing it.
Yeah, I wanna. One of my goals as photographer was to be able to shoot everywhere, every time.
That's a good
because
mantra.
It is possible everywhere and every time. With some knowledge about lighting and everything, you could shoot. Like, I don't want to go to a client and say, it's too dark here, I cannot shoot. No, never.
So if you...
all the negative conditions, if you can use them for you, it's just gonna make...
You have many photos in rain, and they look amazing.
Like, everybody was... When I started shooting in rain, like, all the photographers around me, they were saying, oh, it's raining, we are not supposed to go out. Oh, it's raining, let's finish.
Yeah, you cancel the shoot.
It's raining. Like, everybody was saying that stupid things. And that's like, I'm gonna show you now. That's how I started shooting in rain. And you could shoot so many different beautiful things in the rain. Yeah.
Amazing.
Rain is not an obstacle, it's a chance to shoot some really nice pictures. And nobody is doing it anyway. That gives you the chance to do something unique.
So if one of our listeners maybe is interested in establishing themselves as a photographer in Japan, do you have any specific advice to give them, whether it's on the business side or photography side?
I don't know right now, really. When I found something that nobody was doing, and I was lucky with that, which helped me a lot. It is really difficult to find new things now, but I think it's still possible. Just
looking
try
for a niche.
To find some niche, something that nobody's that concentrated in yet. and do it a lot and show it a lot in social networks and everything.
Yeah, do the work and share the work.
Yeah,
and little by little, with a lot of dedication, you can.
Yeah, don't start YouTube channel immediately. I'm really lucky because I started my YouTube channel like maybe 6 or 7 years after I got like confident in photography. If I started YouTube when I was in the beginning, maybe I would think too much about sharing while shooting, and it would use my time for shooting for YouTube.
So you have to choose how to use your time, make the most out of your time.
I'm happy that I didn't know about YouTube at that time because I concentrated on shooting and learning about photography and not YouTube. Sometimes even now when I'm shooting, I would notice that if I have a great situation to shoot beautiful portraits in the sunset, for example. And if I don't do YouTube, I will spend even more time and get even better photos. But I want to shoot a YouTube video as well.
Yeah.
So I must spend some time to set up another camera and something else, which takes some time.
Andrew, would you have some more questions you'd like to ask Ilko before we move to your trivia section?
Yeah, I just have a comment. I was thinking about doing YouTube first, and actually that's what brought me into photography. Yeah. I bought my first camera for YouTube, a travel channel, and then I used that camera to shoot photos, and then I got hooked with photos actually. So that was kind of a little bit opposite, I would say.
Everyone's path to photography is different in a way. And everyone is attracted by a different aspect of photography. Definitely. I know that, Andrei, for example, you're very into the technical aspect of how to get all the settings right. And maybe you're really into the light.
I am very technical about the settings as well. And before I used to spend a lot of time about setting up shutter speed, ISO, strobe power, distance between subject and everything. But the more you shoot it, sometimes I do it like every day. I should do 5 shoots a day. The more you do it, you just see everything. Now I spend maybe 30 seconds just to set up my lights.
Because you know exactly, you see the light outside, you see the setting, you're like, I need this and this.
Well, I see it already. Even before I click the shutter, I see that I'm gonna get this photo. And I know it.
That's experience.
Yeah. So I'm very technical. Like I know all the numbers. If 4 and shutter speed is maybe 200 of a second, and with that the strobe power should be this one. I don't know.
A lot of math going on in the.
But the more you do it, you just don't notice it.
Practice. Well, thank you very much for answering all those questions. Is there maybe a question that you would have liked to talk about that I didn't ask today?
Well, you asked me a lot of good questions.
Yeah, but thank you very much for answering. It was very interesting. I also doing some photography, but just for fun, and I kind of lost a little bit the passion for it and the desire to pick up the camera. And I haven't really taken many photos in the last couple of years. But today was certainly very interesting for me too, to look at something different that I have never done before, and really unique and beautiful photos. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Get some inspiration maybe.
Yeah. And Andrei prepared a few random questions about photography for us. So we're going to try to guess the answer. And there's 3 questions.
Yes, it's trivia segment. We usually do it at the end. The answer is a number. So you would try to guess. The closer you get, the better. Okay, first question. When was the first digital camera released?
The first digital camera.
First digital camera.
Can we know the company that really? Wait, no, Olympus. I will say. This is a very tough question. I will say. Cool.
Okay, so the expert usually goes first. Please, Ilko.
1990.
I had 1997.
1997. I'm thinking, like, if you're so sure that I'm thinking that the information that I found is wrong, the information that I have is 1975, and if I'm not wrong, it was Kodak.
Kodak with the first digital camera. Wow.
It was like a huge one with a digital sensor.
I'm talking about the first small one, maybe.
Yeah, on the market, available to the public. Yeah. Like the first computer from IBM, like a full room. All right, question number 2.
Okay, so this is not 100%, but it's the most fair recorded longest exposure in the world. What was the longest exposure in the world taken by some kind of camera or sensor?
The longest exposure?
Yes.
It has to be for astrophotography.
Yes, I would say that, yes.
I would say...
I will give you a hint.
Yes.
Is
it in years?
Years, yes.
It's in years.
The closer you get, the better.
Years with an S. Okay, I'll do this.
Let's try. Okay.
5 years.
5 years?
4 years.
4 years. It's 4 years and 8 months.
Wow.
It's one of the observatories tracking the stars and sun.
I wonder what this photo now looks like. 4 years and a half of exposure.
I can show it later. It's just many streaks, light streaks around.
And our last question for today.
Okay. Yes. How many cameras are sold a year in the world? The data is of 2021, so now it's probably approximately the same. How many cameras are sold around the world?
Are we talking about new or also like resold second-hand cameras?
That is shipped, new ones. Yeah. So new cameras shipped and sold worldwide.
Considering how many are being released, the numbers of sales must be relatively high, otherwise it would stop producing that many, maybe.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. Millions. That would be in millions. Okay,
all right.
Ilko?
Maybe 10 million.
10
I have 17 million.
It's 8.8 million.
Okay.
I guess you got the closest on each of them. Congratulations.
Yeah. Okay, really so this is just trivia, no big deal. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for joining again, Ilko.
Thank you.
We will, of course, link your Instagram account, your YouTube channel down in the description so that all our listeners can find your beautiful photography. And hopefully maybe some of them will want to work with you as well in the future. Thank you very much. This was Fish and Rice, Stories from Japan, and we will be back next week with another episode. Bye.
Bye.